It's The Local Show on News Radio 570 WSYR, a service of Geddes Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2023 pre-Thanksgiving edition of The Local Show. I'm your host, Tom Soccocio Jr., along with my good friend and co-host now, because Steve's on his 175th vacation, it's George Powers.
Well, good morning, Tommy. I want to be Steve. Where's he going this time? Any idea?
I think he's over in Tampa.
Okay.
He's doing something over there. So
always someplace warm. Good for him.
Yeah. He packed his 3 Speedos, and he's all set to go.
Oh, that image does not help at all.
No, it doesn't. The Local Show features conversations about local businesses. We're going to talk to business owners, CEOs, CFOs, entrepreneurs, some nonprofits and business advocates, and other business-friendly organizations. We learn how they got into business, why they do business right here in Syracuse, New York, and where their businesses might be going in the future. Now, you're going to hear all about their successes, their challenges, opportunities, marketing, and advertising. We're broadcasting from the Zoey Advertising Studios, sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. Good morning, George.
Oh, we got a great list of people here today.
We do, yeah.
Wow.
I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised that we can talk to people.
Oh, but talk to anybody, right?
Yeah, we can talk to anybody. George, how long have you been in business?
Geez, too many years. About 28 years.
Powers Accounting, around for 28 years.
We changed names a couple times, but for the most part, we've been around for 28 years.
And now I think, and I'm terrible with finances. That's why I have a wife who's much more intelligent than me. Yeah, she takes care of all that. But we're heading into tax season, right?
We are getting there. Right now is tax planning season.
I gotcha.
Make sure you get all your ducks in a row before the end of the calendar year so you can know the amount of tax you owe when it comes April.
Right. And of course, with you knowing the write-offs, knowing the rules and all that, then you can keep more of the money in your pocket. Isn't that the goal?
That's the idea.
Okay.
You want to
I know that
make
much.
more and keep more.
I know that much. All right. Coming up on the show today, stick around. We've got John Tomino up first. He's the co-founder of In My Father's Kitchen. Then we're going to talk to Jim Green. He plays Charles Dickens. He's the producing director of a Dickens Christmas out there in Skaneatles that happens right on the street. And Patrick Smith is the owner of Men in Kilts. We'll see what his business is all about. Jim Deacon stops by, owner of Crossroads Auction. Joe Scripa, the owner of the Scripa Group. We'll talk real estate, both commercial and residential, and property management. Sheila Ostrom, owner of Senior Home Care and Alzheimer Solutions. We'll have a conversation with her. Matt Major, the founder of Your Local IT Department, will stop by. And then Major Charles Roberts from the Salvation Army. I don't think he's any relation to Steve. Because he's probably much more accomplished. We'll talk about the red kettles and
all the bell ringing and all that jazz. Oh, yeah,
he's going to ring our bell today. All right. Coming up first, let's talk with John Tomino. How are you there, John?
Good morning, gentlemen, and happy early Thanksgiving.
Yes. John is the co-owner of In My Father's Kitchen. For those of you who don't know what In My Father's Kitchen is, if you have your phone or your tablet or something close by, look up inmyfatherskitchen.org. inmyfatherskitchen.org. John, give us a little history so people know exactly what your organization's about.
Yeah, so thank you. So we started in 2011. I had an encounter with an individual holding a cardboard sign on an off-ramp. Changed my life forever. And In My Father's Kitchen was born not too far from the studio right here on Bear Street and 81 off-ramp.
Yeah.
I live on the north side, and In My Father's Kitchen was born through that experience. And we do direct street outreach to those who are living outdoors. These are folks that won't even go to our major shelters. So we bring out food, supplies, clothing, and now medical support as well.
Why won't they go to the major
There's a lot
centers?
of reasons. So like one of the reasons could be a lot of our group suffers from mental health untreated, and being in a room with 100 people could be challenging for some people, like anxiety and stress and things like that.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes because of the drug addiction situation that's on the street, you might have an issue with another person that's maybe at the shelter, and you don't want to run into that person. Some of them just don't like the rules. Like you got to be in there a certain time, then you can't leave, and if you leave, you lose your bed. So there's like rules and the responsibilities that can be challenging for some of our folks as well. If you're a woman, it's a challenge to go to the shelter because of being vulnerable as a woman. You could be taken advantage of. So there's many reasons why.
Wow.
You said there was an encounter on an off ramp. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so I was coming home. I was running a restaurant at that time, and I was coming home, getting off 81, and I seen a guy holding a sign.
Yeah.
The story's on our website as well. And I looked at him, and I realized no one was looking at him. It was like that awkward moment, especially for that first car. And I felt like for me as a minister, the faith part of my life kind of took over, and I just felt like God was prompting me, saying, he thinks he's invisible. I see him and I want you to go over and do something. And I went and got him a lunch, came back, and he was there. And I have this 20-minute experience with this gentleman on an off-ramp, forgetting I'm on an off-ramp. When I'm done, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I go home and I say to Leanne, I know what we're supposed to do, I think, with our
Leanne's your wife.
My wife, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, and then we leave restaurant world and start doing this. So I gave up corporate, president of a company,
golly,
and now my wife and I are co-founders of In My Father's Kitchen.
Wow.
Tell George and the audience how food plays a role in this.
Yeah, so for me, growing up as an immigrant child, I'm first-generation American, food was very big in my house. And when I was a young boy, a lot of my friends would want to come over to my house to eat because we had different kinds of meals. And I realized at a young age that food was powerful. And it connects people, and that followed me through my whole life. And then food is just this vehicle that we use, I call it, to make first contact. So I'm bringing like lasagna, steak sandwiches, chicken wraps.
He's not talking peanut butter and jelly.
Say no to that.
Yeah, so like all these right. So like your guys are like, you're getting excited just me talking about that. Now, if you're homeless and living outdoors, and I come up to you at this meal, you're going to want to take it, and that opens up this whole opportunity for conversation. So the food is just a tool to use to get to have a relationship.
That's a great idea.
And something you've implemented recently is bringing medical help to the street.
Yeah, 5 years ago, we Dr. Lehman, he created an organization that he has called House Calls for the Homeless, and he is embedded with us 5 years ago. He's from upstate, and we just recently built out together with help from HUD a huge, wonderful medical van. It's like a doctor's office on wheels that was launched in June, and now he's been with us, and we treat folks on the street. He's their primary care physician, so we've introduced him to our group. Okay. And now he's their doctor, and it's been a beautiful thing. And if you go on our social media pages like Facebook, Instagram, you can see I post the good, the bad, and the ugly of everything we do.
Now, with the season of giving, in full bloom, really, what can people do? Because I know people's hearts open up, and maybe they need to know how to approach people, and how can they help? Yeah,
the best way for me, first of all, is if you're going to connect with In My Father's Kitchen, you go to our website. You can make a year-end donation. It's a tax write-off as well on your taxes. Go to inmyfatherskitchen.org. If you want to donate items of clothing that we might need, you could come to our building on Fridays between 12 and 2 at 501 Holly Ave. We accept physical donations of items that we're collecting. If you're a spiritual person, you could pray for us. Also, we carry a pasta sauce that we sell, and it's sold in Wegmans and local specialty shops. If you're shopping, put a jar of sauce in your cart. That's an easy way to help us.
Excellent. Well, let's go ahead.
Does your website list the things that you need in clothing?
No, there's a contact information. You could call me from the phone number or email me, and then we'll tell you, because it's seasonal. It's always different, and then I don't like to post something if we're not taking it.
Gotcha. John Tomino, God bless you, your family, and all that you do over there. That's incredible, and, we will pray for you.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, George.
Thank you. All right. InMyFathersKitchen.org. Check it out. Coming up next, George, we're going to talk with Jim Green, Charles Dickens. He is. Scare the Dickens out of you. He's producing director of the Dickens Christmas and Skaneatles next on the local show on 570 WSYR. Stick around.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Gettys Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Back into it and back at it again. You've got the local show with Tom and Steve, normally.
Or George.
Or
today.
George. So it's with George, which means it could be even more entertaining. George a pro now, right?
There we go. Yeah, we're getting good at this.
Yes, you like this stuff. You might want to do it as a sideline.
Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah. Steve does it as a sideline, too. Not a very good sideline. But it's a sideline, nonetheless. Local show, we talk about, a lot of different businesses that are going on. You are in the business, George, of taxes, and you work with a lot of local businesses.
Sure
couple
do.
hundred?
Yeah, quite a few. A number of hundred, yes.
Yeah. Now, you think that'll increase? Will you want to get any bigger? Because
No.
No, okay.
No, we're actually looking to scale down a little bit in some ways. We're looking to focus a little bit more, I guess. Is what I would say. We're changing our focus a little bit, working more with businesses on a higher amount instead of just one or two shots. We're looking to do more for each of our clients.
You have a payroll. You have payroll services.
We also
too.
have payroll too.
And that goes well for you? You like that?
Yeah. We offer payroll to a little bit more interactive payroll. We actually talk to people. We have humans.
Right. And that's a lost art form. Speaking of humans or semi-humans.
Art form.
He's here again, ladies and gentlemen.
Fictional humans.
That's right, fictional humans.
I've been dead for hundreds of years. And here I am, Charles Dickens.
Yeah, the Dickens. Jim Green plays Charles Dickens, and he's the producing director of Dickens Christmas in Skaneatles. How many years you been doing it?
I've been doing it. This is my 23rd.
Wow.
year. I haven't really been the producing director for 23 years. I've been the producing director for 20 years, I think.
That's a lot.
Still a long
It is
time.
a lot. It's almost like a career.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
It's half a career, I should think. I don't know. If I got paid, it would be a whole different.
Great, yeah.
I'm trying to scale back on my taxes too. And I just don't know how. But
How did you start? I mean, were you a thespian from way back when?
Excuse me?
Yeah. Can we say that these days?
Yes, we
Okay,
can.
all right.
Actually, it's interesting to me anyway, but I've always been a ham bone. You know, when I was in grade school, they'd have me do little plays and stuff.
Sure.
And I love that. I love an audience. I love doing it, and it's been great. And then I didn't really study theater or performance much, really. But I just kind of ended up falling into Renaissance festivals.
Right. Okay.
And
Yeah,
that's
right.
what else I do.
Sure.
And who knew? And I've done that 43 years now.
Wow.
And
what role do you play up at the Renaissance Festival?
A great role. It's
Yeah, I know the role, but I want to hear him
I'm
say it.
embarrassed to say. I mean, I'm the rat catcher.
Okay, that
I'm
sounds
the
like
rat-
fun.
Yes, it is fun. It's great, and
Yeah.
I look different than I do when I'm Dickens. Like the monkey
hope
suit
so.
looks good on me. I think.
I think you look
suit
good.
This era, but the Renaissance in 1585 or so, I'm the rat catcher, and I just look terrible, and I have my teeth blacked out and a big green glob under my nose.
Right.
You know, but it's
Was that a
funny.
real
It's-
thing? Were there
Oh,
rat catchers?
Yes, very important characters.
Okay.
In any village, because
What did they do with the rats once they caught them?
they are delicious.
Did they cook them?
Well, and they're a good source of fiber if you don't peel them.
Oh, goodness.
That's what I say. No, they actually rat catchers would supply rats to the gaming pits, and the landed gentry would bet on how many rats a dog could kill.
Oh, my
Blah,
goodness.
blah, blah. So that was one thing, but mostly they protected the grain supply. I mean, the rat
Oh,
catchers.
okay.
You could commission the rat catcher to come into your home and
Sure.
de-rat it, so to speak.
Gotcha.
You know, it was, so anyway, rat catchers were real and important. And I know there's, Jack Black was the queen, very famous in the 1800s, famous rat catcher that was appointed by the queen and blah, blah, blah. So it's an honorable thing. But all I am is a comedian.
Right, sure. That's at your core.
Do you have the rat catchers in Dickens?
No rat catchers there.
No. Actually, the first year when so I'll back up a little bit. I worked at Disney World in Orlando for 15 years, and that's where I raised my kids. I mean, I had kids, and then I just couldn't do it anymore. And I said to my wife, "We're leaving. I can't." Orlando is very huge and transient, and the kids, our firstborn was going to start high school in a couple of years, and they would have been in a class of 1,300.
Ooh.
I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
And Disney, very corporate, very, it was driving me crazy.
We're picking up my daughter. She's in the Disney college program.
Oh, good.
We're picking her up this week.
So she's
coming back.
burgers?
Yes. She was putting kids on the Dumbo ride.
They never really get to do what they think they're going to get to do. I can, and I'm not going to badmouth Disney.
But that's why she's coming back.
It was a good job for me for a long time, but
Yeah.
but it is very corporate. And
Yes.
I just couldn't do it anymore. And so I said to my wife, and this is in Orlando, and my wife was born in Florida, and the kids are like 5th generation born in Florida.
Oh, okay,
on her side of the family. And she likes to say she has orange juice in her veins still. But I said, we got to leave. And I said, where do you want to go? I just can't do this anymore. And she said, well, let's go to Ithaca. We had friends who moved up here.
Yeah.
Run Fair friends. And it was like, okay, I didn't think she'd ever want to.
That's
do
a little
that,
far, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I love it up here. And so in '99, I quit Disney and we moved up here and found a little place in Dryden and
Yes.
Beautiful area.
yeah, it's great. And the kids, we've been there 20 years, and the kids all did well. And it was interesting when we left Orlando. My 4th grade age son, the youngest, just looked at me, and we look like the Clampetts. We were in a big truck pulling a car behind the truck and a big van pulling a trailer, and all we needed was Granny on the roof.
Right.
But we left Orlando, and my son looked at me and said, "This is the saddest day of my life." And I said, "Congratulations. 'Cause if you've had the saddest day of your life in 4th grade, that's pretty good.
That's good. Yeah.
It's all uphill. Yeah, it's all better from here. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about Skaneatles and what people see out there, and what you've developed.
This is our 30th anniversary.
That's a long time. I didn't realize it was going on that long.
Yeah. And we're doing a lot of fun stuff.
Has it begun already?
No,
Okay.
we open on Bright Friday, which is the Friday. You know it as Black Friday.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay.
We
But you
like
call
to
it
be
Bright.
more positive than that.
Yeah.
So it's Bright Friday, and we start with the world's smallest Christmas parade, which is hilarious.
That's funny, right?
Yeah, we don't even close both lanes of the street. It's a very short parade, and that starts at noon, and then we go open the festival at 10 after, as soon as we get around the corner.
So while you're performing, all through the times that you're performing, people can just come to Skaneatles and see it happening, and it unfolds on a daily.
Right. It's just in the middle of town, and we have over 50 performers. They're not all there in any one day, generally speaking, because we use a lot of young people, and they have, kids have stuff to do from school, and so we're real flexible about that. But we populate the town from noon to 4 every weekend. Wow. It starts on that Friday, but then every weekend until Christmas Eve. That's wonderful. There's a lot going on. We have the Queen Victoria, and I are visiting Skaneatles from England. That's the premise. And it's 1842. It's the year before I published Christmas Carol.
Gotcha.
And so our premise is that I meet Ebenezer Scrooge and Jacob Marley and all those guys in Skaneatles. And I'm like, I've got to write this down. I've never seen anything like this. And so that's how we create the story there. And Skaneatles has been around that long. And it's a beautiful town. And Dickens was in Syracuse in 1842, and he really badmouthed it. Actually.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah. Well, a lot of people do.
to this day. But he just thought it was a bunch of bumpkins. It was very funny. And he never went to Skaneatles, I don't believe. But, we incorporate the Erie Canal. The Erie Canal and all that kind of stuff, because why not? Why not do it where we are? And
that's great.
And so it's a really fun premise. Yeah. And
excellent.
We like to say we're not historians, we're entertainers, we're hysterical.
It's fun.
So we just, I'm not a Dickensian scholar, but the big thing we're doing for the 30th anniversary is Fezziwig's Christmas Ball.
Very nice.
And that's going to be at the Sinclair of Skaneatles, which is a beautiful
Yes,
venue.
I've met the owners several times. They're very nice people.
Beautiful place.
Yeah.
They're great. And we're On Sunday, December 10th at 5 o'clock, when the show ends at 4, we will migrate down there, and Mr. and Mrs. Fezziwig will host. And
that's wonderful.
Syracuse country dancers will come in and put on this big ball, and it's just, I can't wait. It's going to be great.
Tom, you have to bring your wife there.
Yes, I will.
And tickets are available at the Chamber of Commerce in Skaneatles.
Perfect. Well, that's Jim Green. Thank you to, or Charles Dickens. He's a producing director now of the Dickens Christmas Rate in Skaneatles. Thank you for all you do and all your staff does.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right.
And God bless us, everyone.
Thank you. All right. Patrick Smith's coming up next, owner of Men in Kilts, right here on the local show on 570 WSYR.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Gettys Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We're back again, the last bastion of good quality talk radio with Tom, Steve, and George. Steve is not with us, so the elevation of...
Well, he's not. Gone. He's on vacation.
He's no longer with us, ladies and gentlemen.
We knew
he's
him
just on vacation. He's on vacation, having a blast. That's what he does best.
Yeah, not here.
Vacation, yes. The further away he is, it's amazing that the level of the show goes up and up and up. So it's good to have you along, George. I do appreciate your friendship and your co-hostness.
I appreciate you having me. It's always fun. Meet lots of great people.
Yeah, you do. Like this guy right here.
Right.
His name is Patrick Smith, and he's the owner of Men in Kilts. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, you'll see a bunch of men in kilts, which is very in vogue these days, right?
Right.
No, but a kilt is a rather... Scottish, right? It's of the Scottish nature. Tell us a little bit about where you came from and why you started this business.
Well, it's a franchise, so we bought into the franchise. It's out of Canada. The owner was Scottish descent. He'd wear his kilt once a year. He owned a window cleaning business. He'd wear his kilt once a year, and a customer told him one day, "Why don't you just wear it all the time?" And he started doing that and named it Men in Kilts and franchise.
Kind of a unique thing, right?
Yeah.
I love the colors, the green Scotch and the black and green.
Yeah, the tartan.
Tartan.
Is it? Yeah. You know about those things, George.
The Wallace.
Wallace. I was going to ask you, it's a Wallace tartan. Okay.
I see. And have you always done this kind of business, or what did you do beforehand?
No, I'm retired military. So we did 25 years in the military, and then
God bless you. Thank you very much. 25 years.
25, yeah.
Okay.
I was going to go for 30, but the wife said I wasn't.
No, right.
You could have just retired out of that.
She told you who was in charge, right?
That's right.
You didn't need to do anything else. Yeah. You didn't need to do anything else, but you still did.
Yeah, and then I did 10 years as a teacher, elementary school teacher.
Oh my gosh.
And
that might be worse than the Army.
Yeah, it was a challenge, especially during COVID. That's why I'm not doing it anymore.
Wow. Okay. And
how the heck?
And now you do, what do you do?
So we do exterior cleaning. So we do, we wash windows. I mean, that's where the company started, doing windows inside and out.
Okay.
We clean gutters. We do house wash. We do power washing. This year we're starting on-call snow blowing for driveways. So we're adding that this winter.
I had no idea you did gutters and everything too. So you're doing. I just thought you were house washing.
No, we do gutters. Right now is our gutter season. We're busy right now just cleaning gutters because
Well, then maybe I will have you over. Still, I still have time.
That's right. So you don't get on those ladders, right?
Well, the beauty of it, you're right, and the beauty of it is Kelly's going down to Florida to get our daughter. So and I'm not going because I want to do stuff around the house. And when she's gone, I have my credit card, so that means I can call these guys up and I can get everything done.
And you can take credit. Say, I did this, I did that, I did this. I got on the ladder, I cleaned the gutters.
That's awesome. Yeah, you guys come on over and we'll have a blast. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, so and you got a little bit of a crew there. They're not on mic, but you got some. That's your son right over there.
Yeah, that's Garrett. And then Craig, we hired him this year.
Excellent.
He's been working us 7, 8 months now. Yeah.
Nice. So how long has the business been in Syracuse?
15 months.
15 months. And out of that 15 months, most businesses fail within the first 5 minutes, right?
Right.
So they made it longer than that.
Yeah. Made it longer. You made the first year. That's when you really start learning what you need to do.
Right.
How has business been? Have you seen it take off or go in the opposite direction?
Well, In March, we started back up in March. I think we came here in December.
Right.
I remember it was cold.
And everything was downhill after that, coming here. Yeah.
Try power washing a house in January. Probably not what you want to be doing.
So we closed down January and February. We started back up in March. And we had a slow start, but it picked up throughout the year. I mean, October was our best month out of this year. We were up 300% from last year. So
300%. That's good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So it's going good.
Yeah,
I mean, we could always, it always goes better, but
right, of course. Where do you find that you're concentrating work in a particular geographic area, or are you just all over Syracuse?
Yeah, we cover the entire Syracuse area, so we're all the way down to Fayetteville, Camillus. I mean, we live in Cicero, so
yes, yay,
we get a lot of
Cicero.
People seeing the truck, and we get a lot of calls using Cicero just from them seeing the truck.
I would think so. And I think you said now is gutter season.
Right, it's gutter season.
The gutters are all filled up. You see the water washing over the side of the gutter.
That's what's happening with me. How'd you know?
Yeah, it happens with all the maple trees and all the other stuff coming down. They fill them up fast. And
I mean, that's one of our that needs to be done every year.
Yeah,
sure. Window washing, you can go a couple years without washing your windows, but your gutters, if they're overflowing, I mean, you're going to cause structural problems with your house.
Do you have any special techniques for cleaning the outside of the house? Because a lot of people will say they'll get these power washer people that put up a little piece of cardboard somewhere and say, call us, we'll power wash your house, and they don't get results.
Right.
Do you actually make the house shine a little bit?
Yeah, we have professional grade equipment, and funny story, we just had an office building, a strip mall kind of building. And we bid on to watch the building, and we didn't get it because we were too high. But they did hire the lowest guy that came in.
Lowest bid,
rusty old pickup, and Jim Bob and his brother got a power washer from Walmart, and then they completely messed up the building. So they had to evacuate the building because they were using too much bleach.
Wow! Good golly!
They broke the spigots on the building.
Oh my gosh!
And, so they hired us to come and clean up what they had done.
So the cheapest was not the lowest price.
It was the lowest price, and it was the cheapest.
And then they end up having to pay for it.
Yeah, and then they, I give them our price, and they're like, "Well, that's more than we spent for having it washed." And it's like, that's why you're hiring us to come back and fix everything that they messed up.
We don't break the spigots,
right? And if we did, we would let you know, and we would fix it.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the business and the integrity behind the franchise.
So, I mean, honesty. I mean, we've had several customers where people come out, get their gutters cleaned every year. And, you come up on a house and there's no trees around it. You're kind of, do they really need this? And we had it, the guy paid a company come out every year. He had us come out to a quote. It's like, you don't need it because your gutters are perfectly clean. Well, I pay somebody every year to come do it, even though it doesn't need to be done. Yeah. And I'm not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're, that's our reputation. We're going to be honest.
Are you bonded and insured?
We are bonded and insured, yeah.
Because that's a big deal when you think about what you could possibly do to somebody's exterior.
Right. I mean, that's or most of the expense
or yourselves. Without the insurance, someone could fall while cleaning the gutters, and the homeowner would be responsible.
Right.
So that's an important coverage.
Right.
Now, you said you work right up until when?
Last year, I think we were in our last week last year when we came here, so the week before Christmas.
And then you're done for a couple of months?
Yeah, we close over Christmas. We'll see how January, February goes. Like I said, we're starting the snow blowing, on-call snow blowing for driveways.
Right. And when you say explain that real quickly, will you come out with a hand plow, or is it going to be a truck? Or
no, it'll be a snow blower. We're just going to, it's going to be in our normal truck. We're going to use snow blowers and shovels.
Well,
the trucks, they're quick and they do it quick, but they can mess up your lawn.
They can.
Right on the edges. So we're going to just do it more of a hands-on. And I know I don't like contracts, and a lot of the snow removal companies around here make you get into a contract. Right. And you pay whether you use them or not.
Right. So you can do it on call.
Right.
How can people get a hold of you?
So we have our 1-800 number, but I prefer they call me directly because
go ahead. We'll give it out.
It's 315-967-5458, which 5458 spells out kilt.
Very nice.
Or they can contact me at my email. It's psmith@meninkilts.com.
psmith@meninkilts.com.
And can they find you on the website?
Yeah, if you just type in Men in Kilts, it should come pop up. If it doesn't, put Men in Kilts Syracuse, and it'll definitely pop up.
Well, we encourage people to do that now and get in at least estimates, right?
Right.
So you can get out there and get all these estimates.
Yeah,
done.
we do estimates year round.
Excellent.
Good luck.
Well, thank you very much, the whole crew of you. We really appreciate what you do. Patrick Smith right there, owner of Men in Kilts, and he's a really, really good-looking guy, too. Strapping lad.
He looks Scottish. He's the size of him.
Right, yeah. He was like a mountain out there. All right. Coming up next, we're going to talk with Jim Dickens. He's the owner of Crossroads Auction. Stick around for that right here on The Local Show with Tom and George on 570 WSYR.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Gettys Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
It's a jolly holiday when Steve's not here. You're listening to The Local Show with Tom and George.
I don't have to sing a Christmas carol, do I?
No, you don't have to sing if you don't want to.
No one would want me to.
I've been watching a lot of Hallmark movies. Do you watch the Hallmark stuff?
I know the script. I know exactly what they're going to be.
There's a formula.
There is.
That's like a warm cookie. It's like a glass of milk and a warm cookie. I can have it on in the background as I'm working around and puttering around, and it's just fun. And I like the new one, the Great American. They say their slogan is "Welcome Home."
Okay,
and they're the other channel, and they really have it's faith and family, and that's I really like that. And all of the movies have a heart, felt warm.
They are good feeling.
Yeah,
shows.
it's good.
You can't say anything
stuff.
bad about it.
And there's guys like me who are semi-estrogen. Steve will go, "Oh, you're full of estrogen," but I don't know about that. I'm sensitive.
We all like to smile.
Yeah.
I was watching some movie last night on Netflix, and I did shooting everybody, and after a while you say, "Okay, I'm not sure."
And here's the thing too: some of the girls are really pretty, and I'm not going to deny that. And I tell my wife that. I go,
right.
"How old do you think Candace Cameron Bure is, honey? What do you think? She's an awfully attractive furry." Anyway, so why one can dream.
That's right.
You're listening to The Local Show.
Your wife doesn't listen to this, does she?
Very rarely. She's been listening to that.
She hears you enough at home.
Way too long. Yeah. All right. We're going to talk with Jim Dickens right now. He's the owner of Crossroads Auction. Jim, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you guys?
Good. Now, Jim is a man's man. You see, he's a fisherman and a hunter.
But I still watch the Hallmark channel. I'm going to confess right now. Not everybody knows that.
Right. And he's a man of faith, so he admits it, right?
Yeah, I admit it. I watch it, yeah.
That's funny.
Very good. So tell us a little bit about Crossroads Auction. We're coming up to the holiday season. Do people still attend auctions during the holidays?
They do. Right now, we switch gears, right, to try to fill the needs of our customers. So this time of year, we sell a lot of new merchandise, brand new, guaranteed, online through our YouTube channel.
Really?
From Husqvarna chainsaws, brand new, to Makita saws, to stocking stuffers, all that kind of stuff.
I had no idea. I always think of auctions as being old stuff.
Used stuff, right?
Yeah.
No, we, during the house, starting about October, and we run right through to about Christmas, we do everything brand new, guaranteed. You go right onto our YouTube page, and you can bid right from the comfort of your home. And then come right down to 988 County Route 37, Central Square, and pick it up.
So, geez, that's good.
Is it like a normal auction? They bid online?
So they bid online. It's a live video. Live video. You bid in the comments. We get on there and do our little show. I always tell everybody it's a reality show you get to be a part of, right?
Yes.
And we go on there. We show you the product. We talk about the product, and you watch in the comments, and John's bidding, and Joe's bidding, and Mary's bidding. And then it hits a certain number. Some things I only have 2 of. Some things I might have 36 of.
Yeah.
And if you want it, you put it in the comments, and then you get an invoice after the sale. You look at your invoice, you shoot down to the building, you pick it all up, the boys load it in your car, and off you go.
So how does a person get involved? If they want to watch or get involved in the online auction, how do they do it? How do they get started?
So it's real easy. You got a couple different steps you can take. You can watch our Facebook page. Crossroads has a Facebook page. You can go there, and that shows all.
Just Google Crossroads.
Yeah,
Facebook?
you Google Crossroads, go on Facebook, put in Crossroads Auction Center, and then boom, we pop up. And it'll show all our upcoming sales. Typically, we run Thursdays and Sundays. Okay.
So twice a week. It's not every day.
Not every day.
Okay,
not every day. Closer we get to Christmas, we pop on a little bit more. But you can go to our Facebook page, go to my website, which is crossroadsauction.net.
Yeah.
You go right there. That's where you would register. And you can even have the stuff shipped right to your home. If you're stuck home and you're like, listen, I want to bid on this.
Yeah.
I don't have a vehicle. I can't drive, whatever the case may be. You can bid online. We'll ship it right to your doorstep. So.
Are there certain products that sell better at this time of year than others?
Always, yeah. You won't see me in July selling stockings, right?
Well, yeah.
Christmas stockings, sure. Wrapping paper.
Really? Wrapping paper? You don't sell wrapping paper.
Oh, yeah. We sell it all. I'm telling you, you go to Crossroads. You either go to our website and register, go to my Facebook page. We will take care of all your Christmas needs for everybody in the family, from the 2-year-old to the 50-year-old, from
That's
brand
wonderful.
new flashlights to kids' toys, all that stuff.
And you're not going to pay, you're not going to overpay where, you know,
I
if
will
you go
not
on,
let you overpay.
Okay.
Everybody that comes through my door says that. I mean, I will not let you overpay. Okay. Never. I won't do that because I have multiple items, right? So we have multiple items. And give an example, this happened the other night. I put up an item. It really should have been 35. A few people got carried away with their bidding. It brought 60. I backed it down to 40.
Oh.
And said, who wants them? And we passed them out.
Oh, wow.
So we do that quite often. We want, you know, I do this to make a living, but I also like to take care of people. It's just in my nature, right? It's in my nature to take care of people, and I know people are struggling. I know it's a tough time for everybody, and I love it when I see a young mom come through the door with 3 kids, and she says, Jim, you won't realize how much you saved me this Christmas. To me, that's my paycheck. That's my paycheck.
I think that's a nice feature, too, because I've been to auctions where they bid up an item and say, I could buy it, you know,
brand new
for less than that. What's going on here?
Yeah.
So to have that, you know, you standing behind that thought, I'm not going to let people.
No, I'm not going to let you go crazy. I mean, if I'm selling a tractor and I only got the one, or a side by side or a dozer, it's the only one I got. Right. I can't really back that up.
Nope.
But I can if I have, you know, whatever 72 brand new packages of socks and somebody pays $20. I'll stop and say, whoa, make them $9. Pass them out.
Go.
Very nice. You know, I might have to bring the speaker system over to you. I still haven't sold my big speaker system.
That's what we do.
And I'm thinking in the holidays, would it go better because people are looking for gifts, or is it too much? It
is at a gift time of year, right? Yeah. We're all censored towards that. When we look at something, whether it's a gift for ourselves or for somebody else, we're kind of justifies us spending money this time of year, right?
So maybe,
and it's hard to say.
Yeah.
You know, I never know what people are thinking. I've auctioneered for many years.
Yep.
And I still can't figure out people.
So let me ask you this, you know, relating, you know, maybe somebody can benefit by my story. If we, you know, the speaker system's around $5,000-$6,000. If we were to try it and you couldn't get the money, like you say, Tom, this is only going to bring $3,000 and I got to get more. Can I take the product back?
So this is what I do. I'm the guy that brings reality, right? That's what people hire me for. I don't like to waste anybody's time. Not mine, not yours, not my buyers, right? So I go to an estate, say you got dad's tractor there, dad's truck, car, whatever it may be. We sit down, I use past history of what things have brought in the past for my company and what things are selling for now in the market. And I come up with a realistic idea. If I walk into your house and you have a 2021 F-150 Chevy pickup truck or Ford pickup, and you say, Jim, we need to get $90,000, I'm going to say, we can't help you. You're unrealistic on your price. If you say, Jim, geez, we're looking to get, you know, $12,000 to $14,000 for it, I'm like, okay, we're in the ballpark. This could happen.
Yeah.
Right? We do a little bit more research, and I say, yep, you're safe with that vehicle. It's going to sell. Bring it in. So I let people know whether their item has a shot or not before they even come through the door. You know, we're all told, you know, everybody's about their treasures, right? We're all about our treasures, and that's where we get our self-worth from. And I tell everybody when I walk through the front door, I said, I'm the guy that brings reality. I'm going to tell you what it actually is. You can ask anything you want for anything.
Sure.
You want to sell it or don't you want to sell it? Yeah. That's the question.
Makes sense.
So
a lot of integrity right there, and someone who can help you out a lot. Jim Dickens, owner of Crossroads Auction. Really quickly, you got any snowmobiles?
I do. Okay. January 1st, we have an in-person only sale. You got to be in my parking lot right on New Year's Day.
Okay.
We have several snowmobiles, side-by-sides, four-wheelers, compact tractors, brand new kitchen cabinet sets, brand new flooring. All that stuff's guaranteed. That'll be in person only, right on New Year's Day, right at our auction company.
Excellent. CrossroadsAuction.net. Thank you very much, Jim Deckens. Have a great rest of the day.
Great to be here with you guys. Thanks.
Thank you. Kicking off hour number 2 of the local show, George, we're going to have conversations with Joe Scripa of the Scripa Group, Sheila Ostrom, owner of Senior Home Care and Alzheimer's Solutions. Matt Major stops by, founder of Your Local IT Department. And finally, Major Charles Roberts from the Salvation Army. All in hour number 2. Stick around. Starts real soon.
It's The Local Show on News Radio 570 WSYR, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, your hosts, Tom and Steve.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to The Local Show. This is hour number 2 of The Local Show. Get ready for engaging interviews with Joe Scripa. He's the owner of the Scripa Group. And then Sheila Ostrom stops by. She's the owner of Senior Home Care and Alzheimer's Solutions. Matt Major is the founder of Your Local IT Department. And then finally, Major Charles Roberts, no relationship to Steve, from the Salvation Army, will tell us about the red kettle thing and what that all means. Yes. You know, and I don't really understand all the Salvation Army does.
They do
really,
a lot.
So
they do a great deal.
Yeah, so we'll be able to ask those questions as well. Speaking of questions, lots of questions. I'm not sure he has the answers, but Joe Scripa is here, the owner of the Scripa Group. How are you, buddy?
Great, Tom. Yourself?
Good morning.
Very, very
George?
good to see you. And you know George and,
Yes.
and all that. You're looking dapper as usual.
Well, thank you.
A good-looking guy.
Like
so
Dapper Joe.
Yes, Dapper
Dan.
Joe. Yeah, right. So what's happening in the world of real estate? We hear all kinds of stories. We're hoping that you are telling the truth and giving us the reality of what's happening here locally.
I'll give you the truths that I know.
Yes.
Okay, that works.
Remember, like George Costanza said, it's not a lie if you believe it.
That's right. I love George.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to really say right now. You know, we've had all this euphoria about Micron and other companies. I don't recall the name of the company that just made the announcement, but they bought Anner and Microwave. That's a company from the West Coast.
You're right.
You know, you
That's
start
important.
to put things together. That's a big deal. Anner is a huge employer.
They were huge, or
Huge
they
employer.
are.
Yep, huge employer in town. And the company that bought them, I'm sure many people that are listening know, just made an announcement of a significant expansion, I think $100 million, and add 400 jobs for a circuit board manufacturing facility. Why circuit boards, would you say? Because they require chips.
Of course, yes.
Why circuit boards and chips in Syracuse? Maybe because of Micron.
Yes.
You know, so there's a truth, I believe, that it says more is going to be coming. And, you know, if one company like that, this is a billion-dollar company on the West Coast, making a decision to make that investment in Syracuse, the folks that bought Micron, that there's going to, or I'm sorry, not Micron, Anner, Microwave, that others will be coming too.
Yes.
So what I can say to that from colleagues, I've had a lot of discussions with other people, and there are transactions definitely in the works related to Micron. They're not necessarily Micron, but they're companies that are searching to be here for Micron, and this is in the commercial space.
Well, they've said that they talk about how big Micron's coming in, but the support mechanism in Dakota is going to be many times larger.
Huge.
Yeah.
They have to have all their components. You know, never mind all the construction that's going to take place, but you know the phases. I think we're going to be inundated with crazy amounts of growth. Busyness that just everyday people aren't seeing.
Yeah.
You know, we're seeing the back end of it starting to roll right now. I think most everything Ryan McMahon has projected will likely be very true in the beginning stages. We have no idea what'll happen as it moves forward. You know, 10 years from now, we don't know. But,
right.
But the initial stuff that he's talking about, it's real. We got a big shortage of housing right now.
Residential housing.
Yeah, I was looking at a statistic this morning, as we were just discussing a moment ago, is in 2018 and 2019, our average home sale price in Syracuse was between 145 and 155. Today, it is over 250.
Yeah.
And that makes a big difference. I think one of the reasons we have a shortage is the housing price. The housing was so low, and the lumber cost, a 2x4 costs the same in Syracuse as it does in Boston. But you sell the houses for a lot more in Boston and other places. And so it was hard for home builders to actually make money.
Yes.
The value of the homes go up. Now they have an opportunity to make money. I mean, we should see some more additional building going on.
Well, there's the tough part. We do happen to be involved with some significant new development deals, some townhome developments, things of that nature, which I was always a naysayer that we don't have this demand on housing. Until recently, I look at, like I was telling you guys, I spoke to a good agent, owns her own firm. I was talking to her yesterday. She sells, she was selling 8 homes a month, and she's now selling 4 homes a month, okay? Now, that's because we don't have inventory, not because she's not a good agent. But then if you look back to what I just said, is the average sale price is $250,000, so her sales volume is very similar to what she was doing previously.
Right.
And we're experiencing the same thing in our office. The folks that are selling homes in our office, they were averaging 145. Okay, we're now in the 2s, and touching the 3s.
Do you think that a lot of the new stuff, the new buildings and the new commercial, the new residential, or maybe some of these lifestyle areas with townhomes and things like that are going to really start to ramp up after the new year? Will they break ground, or will we have to wait till spring to see anything?
Well, I'll give you a little bit. No, you won't see anything probably for 6 to 9 months.
Oh, still. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm working on one specific project right now. We've got some meetings on it today with the municipality that we're dealing with. And I want to say, hopefully it'll be 120 townhomes in an area that I believe it's very needed.
Right.
But that'll get swallowed up so fast.
Yeah.
Okay. But you won't really see it. The public doesn't see it unless they go to the town meetings for probably 9 months. So let's say the construction won't start for 9 months.
See, that's why everybody thinks that it's a bunch of fugazi. They keep saying, "Oh, nothing's happening. We're not going to see anything."
But there's a lot going on behind the scenes.
No, on another note, we've got some things that we're doing with specific properties. We've got a little property in the Lakeland area. We call it a business incubator. We're getting a lot more interest there. We've got some electrical engineers. We have kind of clean room space. We got 2 uses there: clean room space and food grade space.
Just outside of Salve, is it? Or
Lakeland. Actually, it's one of the old Bosse's buildings.
Okay.
Everybody knows the old Bosse's buildings.
The electrical is cheap over there? Electric is
cheaper there right now with Salve Electric. There's a little controversy over there, but we're seeing good activity over there. Anybody that needs space for a small business, whether it was an office, storage space, warehouse space, small food manufacturing, and we're seeing people are coming to life where we haven't seen that since the COVID time.
Stuff. Yeah. So for people to get a hold of you, Joe, why don't you tell people the best way to get in touch with you for both commercial and residential and property management?
Sure. Yep. 315-575-4845 is my cell phone. 315-575-4845 or scripagroup.com.
Great.
And people can reach out directly to me, and I'll.
And you're very touchy-feely, coochie-fachi. You'll come right out to people if they want to look at a property or we're analyze.
Yep, we're close. We got a great team.
Yeah, that's excellent. All right, that's the Scripa Group right there. Joe Scripa, owner of the Scripa Group, and you have a great rest of the day, okay?
You too.
Thanks, Joe.
Excellent. We're going to talk with Sheila Ostrom coming up next. She is the owner of Senior Home Care and Alzheimer Solutions. So get your questions in your head all set to go, and I'm sure she'll be able to answer a lot of them right here on The Local Show on 570 WSYR. Stick around.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Sliding back into The Local Show. Welcome, welcome. It's the holiday season, and I guess it is the holiday season, right?
It is the holiday season.
I was saying, and then I caught myself, and I'm thinking, well, are we really there? But we really are.
We really are.
You know, a few days away from Thanksgiving, and then right into the Christmas holiday.
Eating season, and then Christmas. They've already got the Christmas music on the radio. Of course, they've been having that for a while. But
I had to get some blinds over to Lowe's, and I walked in and thought, oh my goodness, this is like Christmas haven. Yeah. Lowe's has become like, home improvement stores have become Christmas meccas.
With all the
been in Lowe's toys and
wow,
all sorts of stuff going on over there. But it's one of those bittersweet things. At our ages, I don't know how much family you have here, but a lot of my family is passed.
Some of mine, we still got the mom and the mother-in-law.
Oh, that's very nice.
I'm also got a grandchild, so this is the new experience.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. See,
grandkids
nice?
You start getting it a second time around. It's a lot of fun.
Sheila Ostrom is with us. She's the owner of Senior Home Care and Alzheimer Solutions. Of course, you have to deal with families and people who've passed and people who are still around but might have some medical issues and things like that, right?
Oh, absolutely. And yes, and it is the holiday season. This is our busiest time of year.
Right.
And the reason why is because people come home for Thanksgiving and Christmas and they realize, wow, mom's house is really not looking good. She's got mail piled up from 4 months and she didn't pay her taxes. And this
that could be a sign.
It can be a sign that there needs to be some help.
Yeah, some intervention.
It's a good point.
Yeah, but it is our busiest time of year.
How can you help, with this?
We can help in many different ways. Mm-hmm. So if you do go home and you see that mail's piling up and they're not, maybe there's a lot of spoiled food in the refrigerator, they're not washing their clothes as often, that's a good sign that they're not able to keep up anymore. Mm-hmm. So you can give us a call and we go out and meet them and if you want to be a part of that or anyone in the family, and we do what's called an intake and we assess, what would be helpful for your family, what would be the most helpful parts. But we do lots of laundry and sheet changing. We do light housekeeping, doctor's appointments, medication reminders. We help sort mail because it can be overwhelming the amount of mail that seniors get because they inundate them with junk mail trying to get money.
And scams. Yeah, I've seen that too many times.
Those damn marketing companies do
they
that.
look like bills.
I know.
And they pay them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I've gotten some of those where they get sneaky now with the different fonts. It makes it look like it's actual script and signed and everything. Yeah. Sheila, do you often go into homes, seniors' homes, where there's just one spouse or do you ever do like where people are still married and go into those types of homes?
We do both. I would say that pretty typical in our industry, 80% of the people are just a single.
Oh, they're single. Okay.
And that's why they need help. Mm-hmm. And then the other 20% is a couple.
Yeah.
So
you can help
we do
way.
Both. Yeah.
And you're just not you're, how would I want to say it? You are fully entrenched in the senior world.
Oh, yeah.
Both with the Alzheimer's and without Alzheimer's. Mm-hmm. But you've won awards based on, how good you are with seniors. Well, what's the most recent?
Did we just see you got something recently?
Yes. Well, thank you. We just won the Central New York Senior Home Care Organization of the Year.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, I was very excited. I'm not a person who really needs rewards to be rewarded for what I do. But this one felt really good, nice. And a lot of my peers voted for me in this industry. And it felt really good. And especially coming off the dementia conference we did, it was a great thing.
That's something to be proud of.
Yeah.
Can we have a little what we call a post-mortem on that event?
Sure.
What is your dementia conference?
Yeah, the dementia
what
conference.
Is that?
Yeah, so we held a dementia conference called Living with Dementia 2023 on October 24th at the Embassy Suites. Mm-hmm. And it was so well attended and the reviews were so wonderful. People were just thrilled with the event. We oversold. We ended up having about 270 people there.
Ooh, that's a lot.
And we really reached the audience we wanted to, which was the caregivers that are out there.
Yeah.
Personal, family caregivers and professional caregivers. And we really reached that demographic, and that was our goal.
Yeah, sure.
So, which you guys helped us do a lot of that.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah,
Yeah.
we tried. Despite Steve, people came. So that was very nice. You had a lot of different vendors there. Like, what kind of services did you represent over there?
So every single vendor we had at the dementia conference were only vendors that truly help people who are dealing with dementia. So we had physical therapists, we had occupational therapists, we had aging care managers, we had facilities that specialize in dementia care. We had Office of the Aging from all different counties, because that's a really good first place to start if you're looking for help, whether you have dementia or not.
Sure.
And people to understand what those programs are, because the Office of the Aging doesn't have a radio budget where they get to go on and talk about all the services they offer. And every county's different. Okay. So it's really important to call your Office of the Aging by county to determine what services are available in your area. And it was well received.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We had a law panel that people love that. And we put 10 people up on a panel to do the local resources. Like we had the Memory Care Cafe. A lot of people don't know about that.
No, I hadn't heard about them.
No. And so we really, people walked away with a conference resource manual that had all these different places listed in it.
Are you starting to plan for your next one?
So it's so funny that you say that.
That's needed.
Yeah.
We are going to do it again next year in September, though, not October.
Yeah, that's nice.
Well, my daughter's getting married in October, so I can't.
Congratulations.
Yeah, right.
I can't do it then.
And that's an outer towner, right? You're going to be going out,
Yeah.
Well,
and there's a lot of senior fairs in October, so we thought, let's pull it back a month.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Well, dementia is such a sneaky thing. It
Yeah.
sneaks up on people, and all of a sudden, what do you do? Mom,
And when
Dad,
people need help, they're in crisis. They're in terrible crisis.
Yeah,
It's just so it's sad, and when people who find out the hard way, where like you say they come back to visit
like,
during the
"Ooh."
holiday. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
In fact, one of my Hallmark movies covered dementia.
back to Hallmark.
Back to a Hallmark movie.
I love Hallmark movies.
Yeah, and it was one where the father started to experience that. So if somebody was questioning it, now they wouldn't call you to diagnose or anything, right? Or would they?
No, they wouldn't call us to be the diagnosers. We're not doctors.
Right.
Upstate Geriatricians is the best place to go for cognitive issues. But if they want to call and say, hey, my mom's doing this and that, I think I might need a little help, and we can help guide them on their path.
You could give them a little assessment at least.
Absolutely.
And you can come in and help with like I said, the changing of the sheets, the cleaning up, to make sure
meal preparation. A lot of them don't cook for themselves anymore.
My
They
grandmother
skip
used to
them.
forget to eat.
Yes.
Oh,
She
that's
wouldn't eat.
Yep.
She just forget to eat.
They just forget.
I wish I had that problem. To be honest with you. But hey, Sheila Ostrom right there. Great job. You and your staff. And what a great conference. And I think we're all going to look forward to that coming up again.
And what an important service you guys offer.
Yeah.
It really is.
Thanks. And there's so many of us in the senior care world that really help the seniors. And if we can't help you, we're going to pass you along to someone who can.
Yeah, you got the resources.
So, we do.
And congratulations on your award there.
Something to be proud of.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
469-1000, real easy phone number right there, 469-1000. Call Sheila, have a conversation if you have any questions at all. Thank you so much, and you have a great Thanksgiving.
You too. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Matt Mazur's coming up next. He's the founder of Your Local IT Department. We'll talk tech on The Local Show coming up next.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
You found The Local Show. Lucky for you, Steve's not here. And I'm Tom Soccocio Jr., the creative director at Zoey Advertising, along with George Powers, owner of Powers Accounting, filling in for Steve. Steve is in Florida and terrorizing Tampa. Probably.
Having a ball down there with it a little warmer, I guess.
Yeah,
huh?
so
yeah, I'm a little shorter, so you can tell the difference.
He'll go fishing and do whatever he does. But it's good to have you along, George. George is a long-time person who deals with businesses all the time, right?
Because we have a lot of local business clients. It's our big thing. We are here to help the local businesses succeed in their goals.
Right, and that's what the local show is all about. And Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts is one of those companies that has supported the show for quite some time. That's John Murphy, attorney John Murphy, and his whole crew over there. Yeah, he has wonderful people.
They do a great thing, too. That is one of the things that I see in my business that unfortunately is overlooked far too much of the time, that people do not take care of, the wills, the trusts, which can be a wills on steroids. They just don't. Not everybody should have a trust. I'll give you that. But everybody should at least examine whether a trust makes sense for them. Yeah. My wife and I got one here a few years ago, and I feel much more comfortable. We have a plan. We have a book that we said to my daughter, listen, if something happens to us, here's the book on the shelf, take this off. We've got a plan for what you need to do. Because the worst thing you can do for your kids is leave them guessing. Yeah, that's very true. And, like John Murphy always says, you don't know when you have to invoke a plan. Right. Because if you knew, then you could say, I'm going to put it off for a while. Right. Yeah. But next Tuesday, I'm going to have a problem. So next Monday, I'm going to get the plan set. It doesn't happen that way, does it? It doesn't happen, no. So you simply have to plan in advance. You can call them at 315-370-9977, 315-370-9977, Safe Harbor willsandtrusts.com. Matt Major is with us right now. He is the founder of your local IT department. How are you, Matt?
I'm doing all right, fellas. Thanks for having me.
Computer guy, a lot of stuff these days you probably are busy with.
There's no shortage of it. It comes from all directions.
Absolutely.
Harder and harder.
IT, for those of you keeping up with things, means information technology. And information technology has grown to encompass just about everything that we live and breathe.
I just thought we called them techies.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the techies does not embody everything that they do. How long have you been in the business?
I've been doing it close to 30 years now. So
you've seen a few changes.
Yeah, a little bit. When I started, it was in the local computer shop. That was even before you ordered too much online. So we built every computer that people used, and those are
floppy disks.
That's where we started. But
I go back to Radio Shack. We used to use cassette tapes.
I remember that first computer had a cassette tape. I remember that.
It was actually pretty efficient storage, but
got away from it. That's a while ago.
Well, what's the biggest thing that you're dealing with these days with your business clients?
Yeah, so a couple of different things. One is everything Microsoft. The Microsoft Suite 365 people have had for years, but what they're realizing is how many tools are actually included in that package they've been paying for that do all kinds of things they're not taking advantage of.
Sure.
I'll second that. What is this? Oh, that's in the suite. How much is
exactly
it? You've been paying for it. Oh,
right. And that's and that extends to security as well, which is kind of the other big focus of ours is cybersecurity. And there's there's the breaches, there's the threats that you hear about all the time, but also from a business standpoint, there's all kinds of crazy compliance. So depending on what your industry is, you have at least your business insurance, but potentially 3-4 other agencies or regulations that you have to be compliant with. And part of IT now is doing those assessments and proving to these agencies that this company is secure and taking all the steps. So.
There is so much critical information, and we have cyber insurance that we pay for, and they had to do an audit of our security. And I was telling Matt beforehand, every day or two we get emails that are wonderful emails that look like they're legit, but they're not. And our rule of thumb is if you didn't ask for it and there's a link or something attached, delete it. Now, we get people that get mad at us. I sent you that. Do you have it? No, we deleted it.
Right.
You didn't tell us it was coming.
Better safe than sorry.
That's got to be an issue that you deal with all the time.
100%. And a big part of that, and a big part of compliance nowadays, too, is training. And that's something that we've started to offer is some traditional sort of classroom training, but also with cybersecurity, we have these automated trainings that go out to people once a week. There's a lesson that's a couple minutes long. They learn something valuable and answer a couple of questions to just kind of prove to their employer that they went through it. But it gives you some really good, easy to consume security tips.
Do you also try to spam your clients and to test them? Are they
exactly? That's called what they call a simulated phishing attempt.
Okay.
And then we do exactly that. So we have tools that will send out those fake things, and we do things behind the scenes to make sure that our test email gets through all the filters. Wow. You know, it makes it to you intentionally so that you can go through, and some of them are very obvious and straightforward. Others, they do an incredible job of looking exactly like the things that we get that are dangerous, and they'll record. Did you actually click through and try to sign into this thing? And red flags go off and things of that nature. But
phishing with a PH, right?
That's exactly it. Yeah, it's the bad music, not the animal.
Right? Yeah, the fish.
It is, and I mean, we were just talking this morning. There was somebody whose mother got hacked, which happens a lot. My mother got hacked too. And they click on something they're not supposed to, and all of a sudden these bad guys take over their computer. And with business, they'll lock them up, and they can steal a lot of good stuff or bad stuff.
Do you use any hardware? Like I remember Barracuda Networks and all that. Is hardware still a thing, or is it just all software?
Yes, sort of, but a lot of those tools are now sort of baked into the software products. Even those things, what they called network appliances, were really just a box that ran that software.
Okay, gotcha.
And they just made it as a physical thing to sell you, sort of. But there are all of those tools in place from a number of different sources that help kind of track those down. And there's specific things that we can set up for specific executives in companies who are most likely to be impersonated.
Oh, right.
There's all kinds of different protections, but the thing is, it's never ending, right? As soon as
it's constantly evolving.
As soon as you hit the one way, they find another way.
They're good.
But what you said is honestly some of the best advice that you can offer anybody. You get an email that asks you to take action in any way. Right? Yes. Move money, buy something, do something, and you weren't expecting it. Just verify, and not via email. Do not reply to that message, because there is somebody on the other end who will play the part.
And don't call the phone number in the email.
Right. If you know, Tom, it looks like he sent me something, I'm going to, call him up or walk down the hall, whatever the case is, and go, hey, Tom, did you want me to buy these 15 gift cards from Walmart and send them to Steve in Florida?
Right.
No, actually we did. He's trying to pay his way out of jail.
That's right. This one was true, right?
Yeah. Now more than ever, I really do think you need a company like Matt's, and Matt's one of the best out there. And like you say, you got about a staff of about 9, and I'm sure that's growing all the time. So if anybody is looking for an opportunity, maybe you want to talk with Matt, or if you are a small business, and once again, we cater to the small businesses, give Matt a call, and you'll come in and give an assessment maybe, and
100%.
See, how you can work together. Best number to get you at is 333-0999.
That's it.
333-0999. And then they can see you online at localitdepartment.com.
That's it. Thanks so much, guys.
Wow, it's almost like I know his business.
Look at that.
Thank you so much, man. All right, we're going to talk with Major Charles Roberts coming up next. He is from the Salvation Army. We're going to ring the bell.
All right, ring, ring, ring.
All right, right here on the local show on 570 WSYR.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We're back into it and back at it. Welcome to The Local Show. We're broadcasting from the Zoey Advertising Studio, sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. And we're also on YouTube. You can see us there if you dare.
Yeah, they don't want to do that.
Yeah, right. Even though Steve's not here, which is a little more pleasant. You can see George Powers, who's been fill-in co-host for Steve on his 175th vacation day.
I would like to take as many vacations as Steve does.
Exactly.
75
45 days in a row.
Yeah, he's vacationing all the time.
I've seen him once, and then I haven't seen him again.
Right, he's not around anymore.
Mercy.
But anyway, I'm Tom Soccocio Jr., and I'm the creative director here at Zoey Advertising and host of The Local Show, and it's our pleasure right now to bring on Major Charles Roberts, no relationship to Steve, and probably works a lot harder, from the Salvation Army. How are you, buddy?
How are you, guys?
Hey, hi.
Very good to see you. Are you from Syracuse originally, or no?
I am not. I am originally from that lower part of the state.
Downstate.
Come on, give it to us.
I'm a downstater. I'm a Queens guy.
Oh, yes, we get a lot of people.
Don't hold it
from Queens.
against me. I'm still a Mets fan. Don't hold it against me. But you know, Mets fans are just known for their lifelong ability to mourn, kvetch, and cry. April looks good. By June, it's downhill, and it's a yearly thing.
Good
and
golly.
we just learn how to live with that.
Now, are you married? Do you have a family here? Or?
I'm married. I have a family here. I'm married to only one wife.
Very nice.
31 years in a row.
That's what I like to hear.
And our boy is 26, and he's doing well here in the area.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, when you're in the Salvation Army, is that a branch of the military at all?
It is not a branch of the military. The Army milieu, I say, is basically just a way to organize and govern, right?
Gotcha.
So when you hear about the majors, they're the old guys.
Okay.
Ranks in the Salvation Army are like hashtags in the military.
Gotcha.
So majors are those who have 15 years or more experience in the Army. Then there's captains, lieutenants, and so forth. So yeah, the military thing came out of Victorian England. We came here in 1865.
Yeah.
Well, actually formed in London in 1865. By 1880, the Salvation Army made its way to New York City, and then they hit up the Hudson and turned left. And by 1883, ended up here in the city of Syracuse.
And why did you join the organization? What made you do it?
That is a great question. I was serving the Salvation Army as an employee, as a social worker, and I was working with homeless families and men, and I was supervising 4 or 5 other case managers throughout the city of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And I went to a civic luncheon, very much like the civic celebrations we have here in Syracuse. And I saw all the different ministries that the Army was involved in. And I realized, like a kid in a candy store, that I could be part of it. And 30 years later, here I am.
Yeah, so you live to serve. You really live to serve.
I live to serve.
Yeah,
I live to ring bells.
Yeah.
There we go. There's the bell ringer.
So, and tell us about that. I mean, people mostly are aware of Salvation Army because of the bell ringing.
Yes.
Explain how that came about and if you need volunteers for that.
Absolutely. Well, the whole scheme of kettles happened about 1895.
Oh, okay.
And happened in San Francisco with an officer by the name of Captain Joseph McPhee. And Captain McPhee was feeding sailors, fishermen out at Fisherman's Wharf out of a cast iron kettle, clam chowder or something.
Nice.
I'm sure it was New England clam chowder. Or not
sounds
Manhattan
good.
Clam chowder.
Sure.
Chowder, as they say.
There you go.
And it ran out. They ran out. And the fellas felt so inclined to help the captain out. They started throwing money in the kettle.
Oh, okay.
And that's how it started. That's how the whole kettle idea started.
Interesting.
So now most of the fundraising that happens around the Army world happens with kettles, with the exception of probably the UK. They still do the door-to-door Red Shield campaign where they go door-to-door and solicit. But even in Japan, they've got kettles now.
No kidding.
So the kettles are your primary source of fundraising?
Yes, sir. Our Red Kettle fundraising drive is the primary source of funding for our local Salvation Army here in Syracuse. Our goal is $200,000.
Okay.
And we are looking for 1,000 volunteers to come alongside us and help to raise these funds because it lifts all the boats. We have 35 different programs here in Syracuse serving over 400,000 people a year.
Good God.
And these funds help us to support all those programs that range from UPK and housing, family shelter, women's shelter, all the way to our senior citizens program. These dollars help us to support all those programs.
Awesome. Now, is there any restrictions on the bell ringers? Do they need to be a certain age, or can like teenagers also be a volunteer? Or
if you're under 18, you've got to have somebody over 18 with you, a parent or a guardian. We have school groups that are signing up, and so we ask that the moderators for the school clubs, take a turn and be there. Kids love it. So families, school groups, civic groups, sports teams, clubs, rod and gun clubs. I mean, we have Hades Hordes, which is a law enforcement motorcycle group that comes out. One of our favorites is the Parrot Head Club. Everybody comes dressed like Jimmy Buffett, and they ring bells in the mall, and then they make their way to Margaritaville afterwards. But it's a wonderful time. It's a great opportunity to be part of a big cause. To just give a little bit of time, a couple of hours, could make a lot of difference in the lives of people.
What are some of the great things that the Salvation Army does? I mean, we hear the name, but what are some of the great things that you do?
Well, we are right now, we're housing 60 families in hotels, in addition to the 22 or so families we have in our family shelter. We've been full for about a year and a half, and we've had upwards of 100 families in hotels around Onondaga County. And thanks to our friends at the county and our friends at Catholic Charities, we've been able to partner and help all these people we have 30 people that have moved out in the last month or so to their forever homes, we hope. So we have that. We have functional family therapy here. We have short-term psychological counseling that we do. We have support for veterans. We have case management for veterans, case management for folks with special needs. We have rent assistance. I mean, there's tons of programs that we have that these funds directly support.
Wow. How many people does the Salvation Army employ?
We've got somewhere between 150 and 200 folks that are employed.
Wow, that's a lot.
They all work under you? Are you the head major in charge?
They all work for their department heads, and I get to work with the executive team and our executive director, and it's a beautiful relationship.
They'll work with you.
Yeah,
that's great. Well, look, we'll get you some people. They need 1,000 bell ringers, and they can probably go to salvationarmy.org, right?
Well, they can go to sasyr.org, or to register to ring, you go to registertoring.com.
Oh, that's easy enough.
And just put in your zip code, and it'll give you the opportunities that you can sign up for. That's registertoring.com.
Excellent.
It says in select, I'm ringing as an individual.
You can select I'm ringing as an individual. And that can include a family. It can be a group. You can do it many, many ways. But we just need all hands on deck, guys.
Excellent. All right. Well, you have great holidays. Major Charles Roberts right there from the Salvation Army. Thank you so much for all you do and what everyone does in your organization.
On behalf of all of them, thank you. Have a good day.
Well, I can't do my close with that, can I? So we'll have to wait. Well, that is going to wrap up the local show. Thank goodness I had George Powers here with me. I really appreciate your friendship and you co-hosting.
Thanks for coming in. It was a great group of people today.
Yeah, it really was. It seemed like a very mature show without Steve here. Without having the kindergarten class here. On behalf of the local show, Zoey Advertising, and Tom, Steve, and George, God bless you and your families. Take a walk today and every day with your family member or a friend. It keeps the weight down and the mind clear. The local show is heard every Saturday morning from 11 to 1, and then again on Sunday morning from 7 to 9. Listen together with a friend. Until next week, get down to business and keep doing business locally. Tell your friends about the local show right here on 570 WSYR, 106.9 FM, the iHeartRadio app, and on YouTube at Zoey Advertising.